be happy because no lunch is worth a boring meeting.
That's true.
We had, it's funny, it happened recently actually. We had, we're coming up on a work milestone. So they bought a cake for us, this giant cake. But as a result of like all this lockdown stuff, we couldn't go into the office. So this cake was at the office. And then they messaged us the next day saying, guys, there's like a kilo of cake at the office.
The rats are circling.
Yeah, and they're like, please, like someone, like feel free to come in today and pick up a slice because it's just going to go in the bin.
Oh boy.
And I felt bad, but I'm like, I cannot, like I'm working from home. I'm not going to drive an hour into the office to pick up a slice of cake.
We
just come home.
We just came in out of a lockdown where it's like you can't leave more than 5 kilometers outside of your radius of your home.
You have to have a reason.
You're driving. You can pull over the cost. Why are you going? Where are you going? I'm going to pick up some cake.
You just say
From the
cake.
office? It's like,
and then the police officer's like, we'll give you an escort to the office.
right.
what if I give you like some of the cake?
It was legal to go pick it up, but I was still like, I like cake. I'm not driving an hour to. I have to pay for parking when I get there. It's an expensive piece of cake.
It
It's
is
not worth
expensive.
it.
And it's just a piece. I would have taken the whole cake. If I was doing that, I'm taking the whole cake. I'm just
Yeah. It was a shame.
Yeah, it was a shame.
Well, okay, so this person is saying that they don't
like it.
Did they say what they're learning? Like, why is it so fundamental for them to learn at lunchtime?
It's one of those ones where I think it's like, because I know when I was working as an accountant, we had to do like every week an accounting sort of session to keep up your credentials sort of thing. I'm going to assume it's something like that.
Okay.
So they have to do something that sort of keeps them up. Like maybe not have to, but it's good for like the business.
It seems like they came up with the name because it's alliterative. Like, they're like, oh, lunch and learn. That's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
Like how I thought Tacky or Tactful had a good ring to it.
It's like
because
nobody
it's
enjoyed it.
alliterative.
Nobody enjoyed it. Just like a lunch and learn.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's good. They'll be like, oh, that's fun. Lunch and learn. That's kind of like a thing.
Everyone likes lunch and learn. But it doesn't even sound like they provide lunch.
No, it's not. If you're working from home, then they can't. Yeah.
It's also the same vein where they do afternoon. Like if we have like a meeting in the afternoon, whenever they put on like a spread of some sort. Let's just say if the meeting's at like 3:30,
they put like muffins or something.
Yeah, there's like, all right, grab something, grab a coffee, and grab this. Like, oh no. They're trying to like sweet talk us because it's going to be a long meeting or it's going to be a bad meeting.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm almost like, don't leave snacks and be like, oh, but we gave you snacks. Like, so now you can sit and enjoy this meeting and take part.
We gave you snacks, so now you're going to have to sit here and enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't like that though. Yeah. I'd prefer, I don't know.
Would you prefer if they gave you no snacks and just the meeting?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the snacks must be a consolation. It's like if I'm going to be sitting through a meeting, I may as well have a snack.
But maybe they're setting you up. Like they pump you full of sugar.
Yeah.
About halfway through the meeting, everybody crashes because the sugar wears off, and then they hit you with the bad news.
Then they hit you with,
drop it on
you're all
you.
made redundant.
Yeah, right. It's like, wow, I'm going to grab another shortbread.
I would punch you, but I'm in sugar coma right now.
No, they got me.
Can you imagine if a company actually does that? Just like, we want to make them feel really, really low when we tell them really bad news.
Let's wheel Tom out of the office in his desk chair.
Oh, boy.
Get the fuck out. Yeah.
And they also like schedule, like, I feel like it's a rule where they're like, you have to, if there's a meeting after work, it's like if it starts before work ends, you have to stick around for it, and it's like you're expected to be there.
That's
I hate those
If
meetings.
you finish at 4 and the meeting starts at 3:45, it's like you got to stick around for the meeting, no matter how long it goes for. And I'm like, that's dirty.
I hate any work meeting that doesn't fit inside work hours, whether it's like if it falls throughout a lunch break, I hate it. If it falls just outside, like you were saying, or just before work, I hate it. There's plenty of time in the work. If you want me to sit through this meeting, pay me.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about like HR regulations and stuff, but surely there's something against the rules of having to attend something during lunch, like a meeting,
but
right?
But
That's kind of your own time.
I would imagine there would be rules around like, you don't have to sit at this lunch, but if you don't, it's faux pas. Like it's
If you're going to make them learn at lunch, you got to provide lunch.
Yeah.
Right. So how would this person who works from home, how would they get around this? How could you get around
I would
this?
fight it if I was him.
Yeah? You would
I
fight
don't
man?
think there shouldn't be an obligation to, but I would probably speak to other people.
Get
Like, strength in numbers, right?
Get a
What do you
mutiny,
reckon, guys? Yeah?
Get a mutiny happening.
Because
Yeah,
I just
sort of
think
thing.
if you go in by yourself, nobody else will back you up, you know what I mean? And then you're in trouble.
Yeah, I feel like with this, especially from working from home, is if you don't have to have your camera on in the meeting, don't have your camera on, and like just have it playing or whatever it is. Or alternatively, sit through the meeting, and then once the meeting's done, go away. You said you tried to like have your lunch after the meeting.
Right, yeah.
Just don't tell anyone you're having a lunch after the meeting.
That's a good point, actually.
It's so good.
You don't have to. Just like I know what I have on my phone. I have a lot of work things on my phone. So if I have to go do something real quickly,
You solved it, Marcus. That you literally just nailed it.
just don't tell
Have
them.
the meeting, have your lunch break. That's it.
Yeah.
We could have
The best
finished.
of both worlds.
We could have answered this question in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about work lunches, and now we got there. And we're good. All right. Well, that's it for Rock
Lunch
and
is
Bird, I think.
done. Now dinner is served. Tom, hit us with the third course.
All right, let's go. I'm going to go with this one, guys. This is going to come from the bus.
The bus. You don't like riding the bus?
I don't like riding the bus. I feel like the bus is sort of like, it seems to be a slower mode of transport than something like a train or a tram.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that because
I know.
buses have to.
They're
Buses
stuck in
have
traffic
to.
like a car.
Yeah. The only difference is buses get bus lanes now. I think
Yeah, it's true.
when we were in our teen years, there was no such thing as bus lanes.
Yeah. We didn't have bus lanes back in our day.
But have you ever been in a bus lane when your bus is stuck behind another bus? That is the worst.
Is it?
Yes.
Get fucked by the bus.
Oh, it's so bad because you have to double stop for every stop because
Yeah.
they stop. It's horrible. Anyway, it's not good.
So everybody hates the bus.
Yeah.
The one thing that I find amazing about a bus is like they share the roads with us, right? The lanes are as wide as the lanes are.
Yeah.
How are there? Is there enough space in a bus for 2 seats in an aisle, but in a car you're sometimes sitting like shoulder to shoulder? Yet they fit in the same lanes that we drive in.
Ah.
Does it not blow your mind?
That does. I never
You
thought
know how
about
much
that.
room
Tom.
there is like in the width of a bus, and it
Yeah.
stays in the lane.
So you're saying make all cars wider? Is what you
Cars
want?
should have aisles, is what I'm saying. Aisles on cars.
Aisles on cars.
That's the platform Tom's running on as for Prime Minister.
Yeah.
The next
Aisles
election.
on cards. Okay, this one comes from the bus, and now the bus writes in, am I wrong for making my friend do this? I have been friends with this girl. Let's call her. Let's call it Train.
Train. All right.
I've been friends with Train for years now, and she's one of my best friends. I love Train, but there's one problem that annoys the hell out of me. She's constantly late. Wherever we go, Train is at least an hour late.
That's a fitting name for a train.
Yeah, I know, right? Even when we pick up, when I pick her up at her house, I can't even count the times when Train asks me or our friends for a ride just to make us wait in front of her house in the car because she still has to get dressed, just come out of the shower, or still has to eat. One time we were trying to pick up Train in the winter. She made us wait 30 minutes in front of her house because she had to do her makeup. Train texting she's ready to be picked up just to make us wait in front of her house is a very common occurrence. Last week, I kind of snapped. I tried to pick up Train at her house, and once I texted her that I was there, she immediately texted back, just need to get dressed. I ended up waiting 20 minutes and in the car for Train. Quite frankly, I'm sick of waiting. So yesterday, Train needed a ride, and I demanded that she send me a picture of herself already dressed before I would leave my house and pick her up.
I need proof.
Train was very mad at me, and she said she feels that I'm treating her like a baby. Am I doing the wrong thing by making Train do this? Bus.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea. I remember, so I used to have, well, especially when I was living at home, I used to go pick up friends and go off. And there was particular friends who were very much in the same vein as Train, where they would, I'd get to the house, call them up, hey, I'm at the front, yeah, no worries, I'll be out in a minute. And 10, 15, 20 minutes will pass. I just learned the lesson of calling when I'm at home.
Yeah.
And my drive there, I'm like, they'll be waiting outside by the time I get there. More often than not, I'd still be waiting, but instead of waiting 20 minutes, I'd be waiting 5 minutes or something like that.
It's quite a good idea though to be like, oh yeah, prove it. You want to lift?
Prove it.
Well, prove that you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Don't tell me like, I'll only like, it's like a ransom message. Show me that the hostage is alive in the current newspaper, and I will then send the money.
Yeah.
I'm now wondering if Train is just going to take pictures of herself in multiple outfits to lie to this person. Be like, yeah, I'm ready. Send them a
She's like,
picture.
yeah, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing this dress. Cool. I'll send it to them, and then they have to still wait. Like
Yeah.
you could get around it and still be, or I mean, you could just put anything on, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to like you'd be wearing whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm going to wear this, and then turns out I changed my mind.
I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Unless Train's naked or something.
I think Train is acting like a child.
Yep.
Therefore, it is okay for Bus to treat them like a child.
Right. Right.
That is what I think personally.
So it's almost like tit for tat.
Yeah.
Tack for
Don't,
tacky
Tom,
for wacky.
come on, we almost got through the third question without bringing up that
Tacky for
segment, all
wacky.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's a fair thing. It's like if you're going to act like that, then you're going to be treated like that.
Do they mention if Train drives or she doesn't drive? That's why she goes.
It seems like Train's getting a lot of lifts, so I don't think Train drives.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's.
This is such a confusing
Yeah, I know.
conversation.
I've been reading the question. It was so hard to read because I changed it from Mia to Train. I don't know why I wanted to protect Mia.
Because I would have suggested if she does drive, make her do the lifts, picking you up and all that.
No,
But,
because then you'll never get to anywhere you need to go to.
you pick events that you don't really care if you go or not, or you go late or something.
I do think there are some people that when you tell them I'm picking up at 3:30, they take that as I'm going to get ready at 3:30.
Yeah.
And I think that's Train's problem.
Yeah.
And we've got friends like this as well who like, you know, they're just very nonchalant about that stuff. And I think sometimes when people do this, they're not taking into the account of like everybody else has, you know, maybe rushed to get ready quickly to be on time to be at a certain location.
Yeah.
They're not thinking of like the broader impact it's having.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, well, I mean, what would you do, Dom? Would you ask for photos? Would you ask for proof?
I would just be. I'm more like whenever this question thought like, how would I feel if someone asked me for a photo, like asked for a photo of me?
Yeah,
because I wouldn't be comfortable sending them a photo of me in general, right? And then when I got that, if I got that, I'd just be like, what? Like, no.
Would you let me take a photo? Okay, that's a weird.
Would you let me take a photo of you naked,
Go on,
Tom?
do it now.
Let me pull that question back for a second. Would you let me take a photo of you naked? No, I'm joking. I had a system when I would borrow. I think I might have mentioned this in the podcast before. When people borrowed some of my stuff, I would take a picture of them holding it, so I remembered who borrowed that certain thing. Would that weed you out? Would I be allowed to do that?
I'd be okay with that because it's almost just like you're giving me an item. So the least you can is like, can I have a photo for my collection?
Yeah.
I think like I'll give Damien his little like, you know, weird creepy photo. I guess.
He has a little photo book at home that he just puts all the things that he's borrowed
are my
out.
things.
No, okay.
These are my things.
I go to people's weddings and I sell them for $10 a
Yes.
piece.
Do you want a
That's
photo
what
of
I
this,
do.
This photo of Tom holding a copy of Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Very
I like
nice.
this one.
Yeah.
So okay, do you think what can Mia do? No, sorry, what can Bus do?
Yep.
To other than this, is there another option?
I think I threw out one option, which was call up, say, I'm coming now, and then leave home. Because
Okay, so like just give her a warning earlier.
yeah, say I'm leaving. Like, I'm ready. I'm going to be ready by 7:30. Then maybe you leave at 7:30.
Yeah.
Or if she says, let me know when you're coming, and I'll start getting ready. I reckon, or let me know when you're here, something like that. You just need to time it in a way that you work out. She will be ready by the time you get there.
Yeah.
Whether that's...
You're saying add the buffer.
Yeah, add the buffer.
Add the Warren buffer.
She needs the buffer.
Okay.
But do you think implementing the buffer is not fair on yourself because you're essentially you're hamstringing yourself to
I got to send a text early. You got to like you're putting in the effort whereas we want this person to change.
Yeah.
If you want this person to change, then I think it's a case of if you're not out in 5 minutes, I'm leaving, and then leave.
Yeah, we've talked about like late people before.
Yeah,
and there was one where it was like a guy was going to a festival and whatever, and they just like left.
They left him. They left him there,
behind.
and he was very upset that they left him.
Yeah.
But fuck him.
have you guys ever left a friend who was late?
No, I don't think I have.
I'm not that cold. I know we talk a big talk, but we don't walk a big walk.
I never leave a man behind.
We left some men behind in Japan.
Oh, really?
Because I'll explain. There was
They're
a lot.
still there.
They're still
They're
there.
still there.
Exactly
They're still there.
They live there now.
Right.
There was a lot of us on this trip, probably like 10 plus. And, you know, which means that like everyone runs on their own schedule when they're on holiday. So it was a very hard thing to manage.
To organize,
I was guilty of it once. There was a time where we had to check out of like 11 o'clock from a hotel. Me and my friend who was staying at the hotel room, we woke up at 11 o'clock with everybody ringing us saying, where are you guys? So we had like two minutes to get...
So you're the problem.
Yeah, in that case, right?
Okay.
It happens from time to time. It's okay. So when you're the serial later that...
exactly.
Yeah.
In this scenario...
It's the latest.
There was a train we had to catch. We bought tickets for it because that's how it is in Japan. Like you buy it for the certain time.
And they're always on time as well.
Yeah, they're always on time, right? Unlike this train in the question. And everyone had grabbed their tickets. We're at the platform. Train's going to be there in like 5 minutes. One of my mates goes, I can't find my ticket.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit, I can't find my ticket. I think he's thinking, I mean, we stopped at like a Subway beforehand to eat.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I left it there. And we're like, and you could tell nobody wanted to go with him to get the ticket.
Oh, that sucks.
And it was like, oh. Thankfully, one of our mates said, all right, I'll go with you. So left with him, right? And we're waiting. Time's ticking down. Like, fuck, they're not going to find it. Train rocks up. We're like, well, shit, we have to get on. We got our luggage with us and everything.
You got luggage, and you have train tickets. Instead of everyone buying a new train ticket.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just say we can meet you there.
We get on the train. As the doors are closing, you see them running down the stairs with the ticket in hand. He's like, I've got it. And then the worst part is with these Japanese trains, when the doors close, it isn't just the door. There's barriers that close in front of it. So you there's no way you can jimmy the door
like
open.
two
It's not like in Australia where you can jimmy doors open.
So it's just like,
Yeah, right.